Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another DC comic review, and in this DC comic review I am going to be reviewing Bat Dark Team Justice. Well, in short, Batman Dark Crisis, Batman 127, Dark Crisis issue 4, and Team Justice issue 4. So I'll get things organized to show the first comic that I'll be covering, and then we'll start to move into the story. So first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that's happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it an 8 out of 10. I'll now move to showing some of the internal art around the beginning, middle, and end. I just want to put this out there that I will not be reviewing the backup story in this. So it's just the main story. So now I'll get started to showing you some of the art around the beginning, middle, and end, as well as some of the things that are happening story-wise. So as things begin, we end up catching up with Batman and Superman, and this is actually taking place in the past. And then eventually we slowly move into the present, to which we see Zero. As things progress in the story, we have Failsafe going against Batman and also Zero. And of course, Robin tries to get a few hits in. Well, I should say fake Robin, because the real Robin at the moment is Damian Wayne. This regression of his character, give him a new fucking character mantle. Or at least his old one, Red Robin. And as we start to move towards the end of the story, we see Batman Zero getting a bit of a pummeling from Failsafe. And now it's time for Batman to bring his backup. And as we can see here, we can see who that backup is. It's Superman. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the story rating. And to those who don't know how I do my story ratings, I cover references, time, location, and cast. So moving on to the first one, did we get any references? And sure enough we did. We got a reference to the Justice League of America, the Tower of Babel arc. And that was really good to see added in this, because it did actually help the story quality. Moving into the area of time, of course, somewhat the lazy use of then, but not giving us an indication as to when then was. That's really got to stop. I understand that they're trying to show it's in relation to the past, but you could show in relation to then maybe 15 years ago, 10 years ago. How many years ago is this then, or months ago is this then? Let alone weeks or days, or even minutes if you really want to get that deep into it. And of course, now addressing the present, what happened in the story. Moving into the area of the location, we had the Batcave. And last but not least, jumping into the cast of characters, to which we had quite a list of characters. Of course, we had Superman, Batman, then of course Tim Drake, Red Robin, Zero, Failsafe, Nightwing, and last but not least, Oracle. Well, for this overall story rating, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the next one. So now it's time to move on to Dark Crisis, issue 4. And first things first, seeing that we have two covers here, or I have two covers here. Of course, we've got the main cover, the trade dress cover, and one of the variants. And do these covers in any way, shape, or form connect to something that's happening inside with the story? Sure enough, they do, to which I give the first cover on the left-hand side a 7.5 out of 10. But for the variant cover, I must admit, it's probably one of my favorites that's come out from this. A 9 out of 10. It's now time to move into the internal art, as we also have a look at the story and also what's happening there. So as the story begins, we have Barry Allen catching up with Hal Jordan in a John Stewart sector, or should we say one of the worlds, to which the Green Lantern is caught in. And we get to see a bit of an explanation as to what worlds the others are caught up in. So one prediction, well, one thing I did bring up in my thoughts and theories in relation to this is that in order for these characters to be broken out of this, that there would have to be an interaction with other people or someone that can bring them to the present and out of this. And this seems to be happening again. So it's only going to be a matter of time once we see Superman escape his, Wonder Woman escapes hers, Martian Manhunter escapes his, Green Arrow and Black Canary escape theirs, and eventually Batman. So there's a bit of a talk there. So jumping towards the middle of the story, we have Deathstroke going against the Legion of Doom, to which the Legion of Doom get their butts kicked. And as we advance further in the story, we see that the darkness, well, overtakes the Legion of Doom as well, to which it too plays a part in the rebirth of the Infinite Universe again. So for the internal art, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the story rating, to which we'll have a look. Did they provide us any comic references? And sure enough, they did, as they gave us a comic reference to the Flash tie-in run that's presently connected to the Dark Crisis. The issues Flash 783 to 785. Did we get any indication of time? No, we didn't. Did we get any indication of locations? We got the locations of the New Earth of John Stewart and the Hall of Justice. They were the key locations. Moving into the next area, in relation to the cast of characters, we had Hal Jordan, Barry Allen, Damian John, Donna Troy, Mr. Terrific, Alan Scott, the Legion of Doom, Society of Supervillains, and we also had the appearance of Swamp Thing, plus where we also saw where the Justice League members were caught up in. So for this story rating, I gave it a 7.5 overall. We can only hope that this story will end on a bang, a big bang, but the way the spoilers are coming out, we'll see what happens. It all comes down to how the stories are executed in the end. So now it's time to return to Multiversity Team Justice, which takes first on Multiverse 11. Yay! Okay, first things first, do these covers in any way, shape, or form connect to something that's happening inside of the story? Sure enough, they do, to which I give the cover on the left-hand side a 7.5 out of 10, as I do think it's the better one, and the variant cover on the right-hand side a 7 out of 10. I'll use the variant cover to show some of the internal art around the beginning, middle, and end of the story, as well as some of the things that we can see that's happening with the story. So as the story begins, we get a bit of a fight of sorts between Raven and Troy, who are the gender swapped characters of the original. But that's one thing about this multiverse, that these characters are in fact gender swapped. So, and that's what makes it even more interesting. And of course, they encounter one of the Green Lanterns. As the story progresses, something happens with Raven, and it scares the living daylights out of one of the super daughters. And we also have Clarion there. Moving a little bit further into the story, we have some things happening, I believe, at the Church of Blood. We've got Jesse Quick checking some of the things that are happening with the Green Lanterns. And finally moving up towards the end, when Team Justice finally get back together again, and they start to go up against one of the adversaries. For the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move in relation to the story rating. First things first, did we get any references to any of the previous issues? No, we didn't. What did we get in the area of time then? One of the things we had that turned up was yesterday, which was really good because it showed that a day had gone past, and we also moved into the era of today, and these things took place, or both of these things took place in the location of the Church of Blood. We also had the great, the Central Park, the Great Lawn at Central Park. Sorry, I'm looking at how bad my writing is whilst I'm doing this. So definitely enjoy that for what it is. Moving into the cast of characters, we of course had Raven, Troy, Supergirl, Robin, Tickle, of course, Jesse Quick, Clarion, and the other characters that make up Team Justice. For the overall story rating in this, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.